Karl Marx, the 19th-century philosopher, economist, and political theorist, is known for his critical analysis of capitalism and his views on private property. Marx's thoughts on this topic have had a profound impact on political and economic thought, sparking debates and discussions for generations. Marx saw private property as a defining feature of capitalism, where the means of production, such as factories and land, were owned and controlled by a privileged few, while the majority of the population had little or no access to these resources. The theory of the communists may be summed up in the single sentence: abolition of private property. Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, the Communist Manifesto. Marx argued that under capitalism, private property led to the alienation of workers from the products of their labor. He believed that workers became mere commodities, selling their labor power for wages while the capitalists reaped the profits. The worker becomes all the poorer the more wealth he produces, the more his production increases in power and range. Karl Marx, Economic and Philosophic Manuscripts of 1844. Marx contended that private property ownership resulted in the concentration of wealth and the emergence of distinct social classes: the bourgeoisie, capitalists, and the proletariat, workers. He believed that this unequal distribution of property would inevitably lead to class struggle. The history of all hitherto existing society is the history of class struggles. Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, the Communist Manifesto. Marx's ultimate vision was a classless society where private property, as it existed under capitalism, would be abolished. In this communist society, the means of production would be collectively owned, and wealth would be distributed according to need. In communist society, where nobody has one exclusive sphere of activity but each can become accomplished in any branch he wishes, society regulates the general production and thus makes it possible for me to do one thing today and another tomorrow, to hunt in the morning, fish in the afternoon, rear cattle in the evening, criticize after dinner, just as I have a mind. Karl Marx, the German ideology. While Marx's critique of private property remains influential, it has also sparked numerous criticisms and debates. Critics argue that his vision of communism may not be feasible, or that it could lead to its own set of problems. Karl Marx's views on private property represent a cornerstone of his critique of capitalism and the socioeconomic inequalities it perpetuates. His calls for the abolition of private property and the establishment of communism continue to shape discussions on economics, politics, and social justice. While his ideas have been both celebrated and contested, there is no doubt that Karl Marx's perspective on private property remains a fundamental aspect of his legacy in the world of political and economic theory. To learn more theories about private property, visit A Conscious Conservative at conservativeconscious.blogspot.com.